It's great to be able to take the podium after the good colleague from Presqu'île who is offering us so many inspirational words and trying to bring us together around the idea of how do we get our roads up to good condition here in the state of Michigan. I think it's something that we all want. And years ago, when I first got to the legislature in 2011, that goalpost was put into the ground. And the goalpost was that, and it's something I think both parties really agreed on, we wanted to get 80% of our roads to good condition within 5 years. And back in 2011, there was a bipartisan team that followed on to the work of the TF2 task force back in 08 and 09 and came up with a really good cost estimate of what it would take to get our roads to 80% good condition within 5 years. And that's really important because right now we got citizens running around the state of Michigan, whether you got a nice new car or an old jalopy, you're breaking rims, you're busting tires, you're incurring a lot of cost with these terrible roads in Michigan. And these terrible roads are also hurting our economic development efforts. Nobody wants to locate in a state with terrible roads. So it's great that the legislature came together in 2011 to identify this problem, $1.2 billion to get our roads 80% good in 5 years. But if you've noticed, it's now 2015. It's almost 5 years after that goalpost was put into the ground, and we haven't done a darn thing. And now we're looking at a package that kicks the can even further down the road. But the problem is, the road is slanted downhill. And as we keep kicking that can down the road, it's rolling further and further away from us every year while we do nothing. And this plan isn't going to get us there. That's why you're seeing so many people on this side of the aisle stand up and say, what are we doing here? This isn't even a real plan. This doesn't get us to 80% good condition in 5 years. This bill kicks the can further and further down the road. When does the revenue start showing up? Right? This plan isn't fully phased in until 2021. Is there anybody who's elected here as a state representative now that will still be here in 2021? No way. This is set up so that it doesn't take effect until everybody who's here now is long gone. That's not even my main problem with the bill. Of course, my main problem with the bill coming to the chamber here as a member of the Democratic Party is to make sure that we're doing right by our most vulnerable citizens. This bill puts more of the weight on our seniors, on our low-income families, and these are the people who we just raised taxes on 3 years ago. This legislature just raised taxes on these people to pay for a tax cut for folks who have more money, and now here we are going back to the well, asking our seniors and our low-income people to pony up more to get our roads to good condition, because we're not willing to go back to the folks who just received such positive tax treatment from this particular majority. But I've got a couple other problems. One is this whole idea of registration tax. I don't know who thought this one up, but do we realize that Michigan is a big tourist state? Tourism is our #2 industry in the state of Michigan. There's a lot of people here in Michigan driving around and using our roads who aren't from Michigan. So why are we selecting as the main revenue vehicle a tax that only hits Michigan citizens? We don't want to get any revenue from all the tourists that are traveling on our roads? Why would we do that? Who thought that one up? Who wanted to target the majority of the tax increases just to our citizens and forgive any tourists who might want to use our roads from having to contribute to making our roads better? Also, we've got this crazy idea of putting extra targeted tax increases on advanced technology vehicles. This is a really great one, right? Now, I think some other states might want to pick up where we're leaving off here. Now, can you just imagine if Wisconsin decided to adopt a special cheese tax? Or if Idaho decided, let's do a special potato tax, right? This is Michigan. We're the car capital of the world. We want to build the cars of the future right here in Michigan, but we're designing special tax increases for people who drive advanced technology vehicles, the same vehicles that are rolling off of the plant floors here in Michigan. We're going to provide special taxes for those. Let's send a note to the Washington legislature and get them to put special taxes on Boeings. Maybe they'll think that's a great idea, because that's what we're doing here today. We're instituting a volt tax. Why would we do that? We build the Volt. Don't we care about Michigan's economy? Don't we care about manufacturing? Don't we want to build the cars of the future right here? So having registration tax be the main vehicle for this makes no sense to me. We should be relying more on the gas tax to get at those tourists. We shouldn't be targeting our own main industry for special tax increases, discouraging people from buying vehicles that we make. And we shouldn't be pushing the fix for our roads so far into the future that none of us will be here when it happens. Citizens want a fix today. Bad roads are blowing up our citizens' tires and bending their axles and ruining their rims today. Bad roads are driving away economic development right now. And we're talking about maybe getting some revenue in a couple years and maybe finding some general fund cuts in a couple years, maybe cutting higher ed, maybe cutting K-12. Who cares? Let some future legislature figure it out. And we'll walk away and pat ourselves in the back and say that we did something for Michigan's roads. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the point of this is to set it up so that no one here today has to suffer accountability for the decision that we're making today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.